Before this gaming PC is built, benchmarked, and reviewed, what PC questions do you have that I could make a video on and explain for you? Firstly, let's get the thing out of the way first. And that, my friends, is the Asus B760A motherboard. This is hands down one of my favorite motherboards aesthetically for reasons that I doubt I need to explain right now. As you can see, this thing has this like futuristic robot type of vibe going on, and it looks really awesome. The ports on it, it's got an HDMI and a display port. If you end up getting a processor with a dedicated with integrated graphics, you got 4 USB up top, 1 USB in the middle, 2 more at the bottom, and then a USB-C on the side, and then another USB-C at the bottom near all of the audio jacks. One other thing that I actually want to say about this motherboard is for 14th generation Intel, okay? This is going to become a pretty common problem with people that are getting a 14th generation CPU and a motherboard that was either for 12th generation or 13th generation. A benefit of having a motherboard like this is you can see there is a BIOS flash button right there. And what that BIOS flash button does is if your motherboard is not like one of the like brand new one that released alongside the 14th generation, and it's one of the motherboards that they had in stock, the 14th generation CPU is not going to work with that motherboard until you update the BIOS. And that is where that BIOS flash button comes in handy a ton, because you're able to update this BIOS without an older CPU needing to be installed. All you need to do, you need to go to the Asus website, you get your little USB drive, you install the BIOS update on that USB drive. All you need is power to the actual, you don't need memory, you don't need an NVMe in it, you don't need a CPU, you don't need anything. And you plug it in, power the motherboard, and then you just hit that little BIOS flash button and it updates the BIOS for you without anything needing to be on that motherboard. And then that will allow you to install a 14th generation CPU. So if any of you are building a computer right now and you're unable to get it to power on after building it, and you got a new 14th generation CPU and you didn't get one of the brand new Z790 motherboards that were released, or one of the brand new B760 motherboards that were released, and you got one a little bit older like I did, then you know what I mean, you're gonna be able to do that, and it comes in handy. Asus and Gigabyte, I know, do it. I'm pretty sure MSI has it on their Z790s. But just make sure that you get a motherboard like that if you plan on going with the 14th generation CPU, because you don't know if you're going to be getting an older board. Forgot to say to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment.
I hate saying it just as much as you probably hate me saying it, but if I do not say it, like 1% of you will actually do it.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. i7 14700K. We've used this fella quite a few times. When it comes down to going from bottom line CPU to top of the line CPU, the value starts getting a little bit corrupted there. And when you go with either an i5 or an i7 is still going to do great if you end up pairing it with something like a 4090 or something like that. Is an i9 going to be better? Of course, but the i7 is a really good CPU, especially if you plan on pairing it with some of the higher end graphics cards on the market right now. Next, 1 terabyte NVMe. The motherboard does not support Gen 5 NVMe's. So if you're looking to get some sort of a NVMe, like a Gen 5 NVMe, you're not going to want to get this motherboard, because it's not going to offer the speeds that the 5th generation NVMe actually offers. The motherboard that I have does support Gen 4. DDR5, I get this all the time. It is what it is. It's RAM. It overclocks in the BIOS. You can enable the XMP profile if you get a good motherboard, and this motherboard is great. So these right here, these are just power supply extensions. They make a huge difference in your computer. These are the ones I got. These are like really thick. I like the way that these look. As you can see, they're not like skinny. They're very, very, very thick. This is like my new favorite brand over Asia Horse. Actually, let me show you. So these are Asia Horse right here. These are like, you can kind of see, you can kind of see the thickness of this braid, right? And then if I compare it, you see how it's almost like double I like that thickness. I like the way it looks. It looks more appealing to me personally. Next up is a power supply. It's just an Apevia power supply, Galax power supply. I say this all the time. I've been building computers for about 2 years at this point, a little bit less. I've built hundreds of computers at this point. I have not once had anybody, and I offer lifetime warranties. I have not had one person contact me about an issue with their power supply. I benchmark and I test every single computer before the owner comes to get their computer. There's not been any like power problems with the power supply. These are specifically for looks, aesthetics, okay? You can get this one, you can get the NZXT one, the Lee & Lee one, Asus one. It does not matter which one you get, okay? The only problem you will ever have with an AIO is the air bubbles getting trapped inside of the radiator or one of the fans not functioning properly. The stock Intel CPU coolers that come with the like lower end Intel 14th generation CPUs, when you use those and put an AIO on it, there's not that much of a difference. So it doesn't matter which AIO you get, as long as it fits the theme of your computer build. If you're like me and you like to theme computer builds and you like to make your computers look cool, then it really doesn't matter which one of these things that you get. The fans on these are great. I haven't run into any like failures on my computer as far as like the fans going out, but I got a Nucleus AIO over there that we're going to be using and installing into my computer as an upgrade. Company sent that to me and I want to test it out. So looks pretty cool to me. So the Asus 4070 Ti that we're going to be building in another computer soon here. And then this is the Nucleus AIO that we're going to be using. Don't forget, since it's over there, this is the MSI Gunder. We've done a couple of computer builds in this in the past, which honestly may even be some of the B-roll that you end up seeing. I like the way this case looks. It looks pretty cool. The fans are nice. Overall, I mean, the only con about this is that it has this open power supply thing. I don't like cases that do that. But overall, it's a really good case, and it comes with 4 fans for you so that, you know, don't get a 360 millimeter AIO if you get that case, though. So I'll take the graphics card out and see what she looks like. This is why I say, and I like to theme computer builds. Like, look at the combination and how well this is going to go together. So you can kind of see it goes really well. 2 different companies, but the way they're designed looks pretty cool. Oh my goodness, that's the first time I've seen that happen with a white graphics card. Oh wow, that's so epic. Well, that's a big plus for me. It comes with a white for your white computer build. Dude, all the other graphics cards, this is a black. It's like, yo, I'm building a white computer. You gave me a white graphics card. Like, what do you mean giving me a black cable? This is the first time. Huge props, mad props to so I don't even need the one in that easy DIY fab, which is actually another reason that I even started getting those, is because it comes with the 4090 adapter. But this is pretty sweet. I'm happy for that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and build this fella now.